Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for all of your tweets. Shaka Hislop is here, as is Frank Leboeuf as well. Frank, this is something we discussed on the show. Will the Premier League title run be a 3 or 4 team race till the end? You think it's going to be a 6-team race?
Until now, yes, because you cannot say to any of the team who are in the first 6 spots that they cannot be the contender. They're showing ups and downs, but really it's impossible to say one of them couldn't be in the run. So even if I have my favorites, even if I think that even Leicester will be struggling. But you cannot put any teams in the first 6 spots out of the competition.
I think you can, can't you? I think you can, Frank. You just look at it collectively. Right, Leicester, I don't think they're going to be title contenders. I don't think Manchester United are either in the end.
Why are you looking at me?
If you want my personal perception of the game and what I see, of course I've got my ranks, but it's not what the people want to hear because
yes, it is what the people want to hear. That's what you're
unfair.
Any team can win it. That's what we want from you, Frank. You want opinion.
No, it doesn't work like that. I have to be neutral. I have to be also respectful towards the clubs who are working hard to show they deserve to be named as contenders. And all of those 6 teams, they deserve to be named as contenders because they're not out of the run and they showed potentials to be the winner of the competition.
What's happened to Frank?
I don't know. Listen, on the one hand, he does have a point. Fans of any one of those top 6 can make an argument as to why they'll be there in the end. Ultimately, I think it'll come down to Liverpool and Spurs, who I think are the best.
You think that's the 2?
I think those are the best 2 teams in the league. I think Liverpool are the best team in the league. Spurs sitting top of the table for good reason. I think the big difference between the 2, and you kind of see it, is that in this odd season that everybody's talking about, you just wonder if Liverpool, the pace that they play at, how much they possess the ball, if eventually that takes a toll on them.
I don't know, Shaq. They've lost all these players and yet they're still top of the table. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, right, but can they maintain that? Can that be sustained with the kinds of injuries that they had?
They've had a lot.
And they've had a lot, and you just wonder if they're going to get any more. Whereas the other side of that same coin is Spurs are playing Europa League, making wholesale changes when they do, and then they don't keep hold of the ball that long, so you don't get the feeling that they're doing as much work.
On the flip side of that, Liverpool have lost a lot of key players, including Van Dijk. You feel if Spurs lose Son or Kane, they're in real trouble?
Absolutely. I totally agree. As I said, I think Liverpool are the best team in this league. The big challenge for them is, given how quickly they play, given how much they possess the ball, whether injuries is going to become a bigger issue for them between now and the end of the season than it will be for Spurs. I think that's the only way Spurs get the better of Liverpool, that they somehow avoid or cope with injuries better.
Right, Frank, let's do some math. What are the chances Tottenham win it all? What % would you give us?
Win the title?
Yes.
Not big chances for me. I think, as Shaka said, Liverpool is above them.
Didn't you just say all 6 teams have got a chance?
Now you ask me what I really think about all potential to all teams. I think they have a chance, but you will need something happening to other clubs in order to Tottenham to win. So I think if you really want my truth, I think either City, Liverpool, and maybe Chelsea will be the winner, the champion. But Tottenham, they have a chance. If Liverpool have still some injuries, if Chelsea gets starting to have injuries, and if City don't find their football back, Tottenham have a chance. That's it.
What percentage would you give, Frank, of Spurs winning the title?
10%.
10%. Higher or lower, Shaka Hislop?
Well, it's big. It's big. Before the competition, I said 0. It's increasing.
10 is bigger than 0. Right now, I give Spurs 24% chance of winning the title.
What are your thoughts on Vardy?
What that kind of time? What kind of number is that? 24. What kind of number is that?
That's Frank's input to it all.
24.
You should have gone 24.7. That would have really got him going.
Oh, maybe next time.
What are your thoughts on Vardy's last-minute celebration where he slid into the corner flag and broke it? He didn't just break it.
Yeah,
he just obliterated it. He just smashed everywhere.
I loved it. I have no problem with it.
What's the craziest celebration you've seen a player pull off, Shaq?
Do you remember Tamuri Ketsbaya? Played for Newcastle.
Right. I don't know, Shaq.
Okay, so he was having some disagreements with Kenny Dalglish.
Right.
And he came off the bench, and he scored, and he just started kicking the advertising hoardings to the side. But now everybody, the players know what's going on off the pitch.
Right.
So he starts like leathering into the advertising hoardings like crazy, and you see all the players kind of come to celebrate, and then everybody just stop and stand about 10 yards back while he just goes crazy. So now the fans are loving it. Fans are absolutely loving it. Other team kicks off. Ball comes to Tamuri. He is facing straight across the pitch and just runs and just leathers the ball straight across the field into the stands. Like nobody anywhere close. He just totally lost it.
So did he damage the ad? Did he like hit hole in the
advertising audience? Yeah, he smashed a hole.
And then what happened afterwards? Did Kenny say anything to him?
No. Seriously, nobody said a thing to him for a while.
Because he'd gone.
He was gone.
He was gone.
He was gone. Like I said, nobody would even celebrate with him. He was gone.
Frank, craziest celebration?
Yes, I have one. But first, can I say about Vardy that he did that because he's a crazy Sheffield Wednesday fan. And he can't stand Sheffield United. I think it was a punition that he wanted to give to the Sheffield United fan every time that he played against, and he was booed by them. I had a fantastic celebration from Frank Sinclair when he scored a goal. He put his shorts down. I guess he had underpants.
Right. Lovely.
And I think he was banned for 3 or 4 games.
Wow. Frank, did you ask him why he pulled his shorts down?
I don't know. You should ask him. I didn't want to ask him. And I found that so funny in a way, but so stupid in another way that I didn't want to ask him. And I'm pretty sure that he was fined and banned by the FA. I'm pretty sure.
Do you agree with referees in the Premier League waiting until after the play is over to call offside, even if it's a very easy decision? That's not in the Premier, just in the Premier League. We're seeing that right across the board. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I know it's a waste of time. I know it's a waste maybe of energy for some players, even if it's because sometimes you have to sprint back for defenders for nothing. But sometimes we forget things. We think there is a clear offside, and we forget that the left back was. We didn't see the left back on the screen, and maybe it was covering. So it's better to wait to be sure. That's what the VAR is for. So I have no problem, no issues about that.
Yeah, I don't know why people get their knickers in a twist about this.
I'll be honest. I don't like it. I don't like it because.
Oh, Shaq is just there.
No, I'll tell you why. Too often I've seen like a ball get played over the top, players offside. Goalkeeper comes racing out. I think if it's a clear offside, especially in that circumstance, keeper come in one direction, striker go in the other. Get your flag up and stop the play, because that's somebody getting hurt just waiting to happen. So in those circumstances especially, I think if you show us offside, put your flag up, blow the whistle.
But if it's close?
Well, if it's close, you have to wait. That wasn't a question, was it?
Were you ever intimidated by a crowd?
By a crowd?
Yes.
Not really, no. And I'll tell you what, I think...
I always feel goalkeepers are the most exposed to abuse, because you're just there...
Yeah, you, honestly, you don't hear it.
Really?
Yeah, you really don't hear it. And you enjoy... you start to enjoy big crowds, and crowds with... Emotional crowds. I remember playing with Trinidad national team and going to Central America, might have been Costa Rica, and we stood in this big tunnel, and you could see the flares going off in the stadium, and I mean it was crazy. And you could, I was standing near the front of the line anyway, as the goalkeepers usually did, and you could, well, Sydney, I could feel our players just kind of clam up and
really.
Yeah, they're not used to playing in front of those
So what did you do as a leader?
No, I am like, I kind of recognizing that I was looking forward to it. I loved playing in front of big crowds, and I now start to get vocal about it. Like I'm loving this, and I'm looking forward to this, and just trying to get these guys just to kind of not be as intimidated standing in the tunnel.
Did you get a result?
I can't remember.
Oh. Just pretend you did. Because
we won 4-0. We won 4-0.
Yeah,
I scored a hat-trick.
Because of your tunnel talk. What about you, Frank? Ever intimidated by a crowd?
Yeah, twice, and once in Romania with the national team in '95 with a big team, Agi, Popescu, and we had to win in order to be qualified for the European Championship in England in '96. And we arrived like 2.5 hours before, and the crowd was already there. It was full, it was packed, and they were cutting some roosters' head off, in front of us alive. And really, we were seeing the people, the flags were full of a hole, and with the royalty, tag out, and it was absolutely scary. I was like in levitation, and when we went to see the pitch. 2 hours before the game. And the other one was when I played in Galatasaray, the old stadium. I played in Champions League, and I was the captain of the team. And the atmosphere was crazy. We won 5-0, I think, and we finished in an empty stadium. But before the warm-up and the beginning of the game was very, very impressive.
Just to go back, Frank, they were chopping roosters' heads off in front of you. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they were in the stand, and they were getting the rooster, and they were cutting, which is our,
Yeah.
it's our, I'd say, emblem. And it was crazy. It was crazy. We felt the
what a
the
time for
adversity
fireworks to appear during this serious story.
It's kind of a celebration now, and that was crazy. That was something that I will always remember.
Yeah.
And we won that game. We won 3-1, and I was very proud to go against that adversity and be able to fight as a team.
Wow, that's crazy. Goodness me. We'll give Frank the chance to sort out his background as we ask you, Shaka, which German goalkeeper's mistake was worse yesterday, Neuer or Ter Stegen?
Ter Stegen. Listen, that's a Neuer place.
Right.
And you're gonna make those mistakes. But the kind of assumption is that you're gonna prevent more goals by playing that high line than you can see. So you take that. I think the disappointing thing with Ter Stegen, as much as others played a part, Albert Langley have to share in that responsibility. As a keeper, and Ter Stegen, I don't think he's trying to be cute with it. I think he's just trying to put it out to play for a corner or whatever. But you've got to be sure you get the ball and also make contact with the man. I'm not saying to kick the man, but kick the ball and make sure you physically make contact with the striker coming in, just in case, it comes off of him or he doesn't get by you. And I think he failed in both those attempts. And the second in particular, sometimes you miss a kick, but I don't see why. Just put yourself in his path. So he has to collide with you. And at least that way he doesn't get onto the rebound. And I thought he failed in that regard.
Frank, will a Ligue 1 team other than PSG win the title within the next 10 to 20 years?
Hopefully, yes, Lyon is always trying, with Mr. Olas, the chairman, trying to build a team to compete against Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe one day Marseille will be back. Marseille has 2 games in hands. If they win those 2 games, they're going to be on top of the Ligue 1. Lille maybe can do something. But Paris Saint-Germain has so much money and can attract so many players. And we talk about Messi right now for the next season. So it's going to be impossible, of course, for any other team. But like Bayern and like Real or Barcelona for maybe 20 years, the last decade. So, it's impossible to fight against Paris Saint-Germain right now.
Final question. Who was the better hammer of the year? You or Stuart Robson?
Me, obviously.
Obviously, you're going to say that.
We finished 5th. That's West Ham's highest finish in the Premier League.
Wow.
Have that, Stuart Robson.
Yeah, take that, Robbo. All right, that is it. Thank you very much to Frank and to Shaka. We'll be back tomorrow for a bit more Premier League talk. And we're going to head, of course, to those they're big, Shaka, big Champions League matches. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.